A small recap of my last lesson. We were doing manufacturing account. There were three types of business: trading, service, and manufacturing. About trading, we are known, we have done that it's very easy to calculate the cost, which is generally the cost of purchases. For manufacturer, it is very difficult. That is why what do we prepare? We prepare manufacturing accounts. After that, what we are going to do, we discussed that there are so many costs, and the costs can be categorized into two forms. One is the direct cost, the other one is the indirect cost. Direct costs are those costs which could be attached to the product, whereas indirect costs are those costs which cannot be attached to the product directly. And at your level, we'll be talking about generally two types of direct cost. One is direct material and the other one is direct labor. On the other hand, there are so many indirect costs, or we may consider them as a factory overheads, and those are rent, insurance, heat and light. After this, we'll be moving one step ahead. Now, in the next or in this lesson, I'll be introducing few more things to you, and those things are those terminologies are of direct material, direct labor, prime cost, and factory overheads. Now, what I want is that I'll be speaking and you will be writing these things. Now, direct costs are direct material is that material which can be directly attributed to the product. Direct labor is the cost of that specific labor which is directly involved in the manufacturing of the labor. So, for example, there are two people and one is Mr. X, the other one is Mr. Y. Mr. X is paid $5 per hour and Mr. Y is paid $7 per hour. He is paid $5 per hour and he is paid $7 per hour. He is directly manufacturing the product. This cost will be considered as direct labor. Whereas Mr. Y, he is a supervisor and he is looking after 4, 5, 6 employees, that whether they are doing the right work or not. So this cost is of supervisor. This is considered as indirect cost because supervisor is not directly making the product. The next is prime cost. Now, what is a prime cost? Prime cost is actually the sum of direct material, and direct labor. My apologies. Direct labor. The sum of direct material and direct labor is known as prime cost. The fourth thing is factory overheads. These are the other expenses of the factory, such as rent and rates, heat and light. Then we have insurance, electricity, and depreciations of other things or other machinery. Now, as you are known to these examples, we'll be moving a bit ahead. Now, what is next? The next concept which I want to discuss with you people is of inventories. It is of inventories. Now, everybody knows that what an inventory is. Inventory is the stock which you purchase with the intention of reselling it, or as per IAS 2, International Accounting Standard 2, that inventories are assets held for selling purposes, and blah 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 blah. But over here we'll be facing three types of inventories. We'll be having three types of inventories. The first type is of raw material. The second type is work in process, which is often known as work in progress as well. Work in process and work in progress. The third is finished goods. The third is finished goods. Yes. Now, why are they smiling? Because they are the only one which are dealt in income statement. Okay, they are dealt in income statement. These two, the first two, the raw material and the work in progress, they are dealt in manufacturing account. Now, when I say manufacturing account, I must tell you that till now, whenever you have made the financial statement, you have only made income statements and statement of financial positions. Income statements and statements of financial positions. Now, what you will be doing is you will be preparing one more thing which is going to be added before the income statement. Before you prepare income statement, you will be preparing manufacturing accounts. Manufacturing accounts. Now, this is what we are talking about, and this is what we'll be preparing now. So, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to prepare the format of manufacturing account.